Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge. How are you all going today? I'm joined in the studio today by my good friend Saif. How you going, big fella?
I already want to leave.
All right then. And who else are we joined by?
It's just me.
It's just me. It's just us two on the plane. Elon Musk is flying the jet.
I'm hosting next week, so we don't get another good Stevening.
Yeah, well, you're locked into it. Yeah, you're going to host and you're going to edit. Man, a guy that really just loves this podcast. Man, people need to start giving you money, Seth. I don't know who those people are, but I'm sure they'll find you.
Even for the sake of it, I'll make the docket as well. I'll take your one job.
I just have to show up then. Good. Make some good, funny humor at the same time. But if people did want to send you money, what is the first 16 digits of your credit card, the expiry date, and the number on the back?
I don't think that's how it works, so I'll just drop my PayPal in the description.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's one way. I don't know. I usually don't give money to weirdos, so you will not be seeing any of my money any soon. But thank you, Seth, from the bottom of my heart. Truly, the work you do is inspiring for this podcast and for the people that listen to us. But enough about jerking you off.
Damn, I was just getting to the edge of it.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I don't come next week. Oh, holy shit.
See, I didn't even have to say it.
You know what? We cancelled. So what's been going on? Anything, before we get into Round the Lounge, anything funny you want to bring up? Any technology, Krispy Kreme, general fast food stories?
No, not this week. I'm anticipating a few things coming up in the coming weeks because I've been invited to a Halloween party and a work bowling party. Both happening on the same weekend.
Two things. How's your bowling skills? You any good?
I'm okay.
Any perfect 300 games?
No, not yet. One day.
You practicing? You getting Wii bowling out?
Oh, always. It's always Wii bowling. That's the only way to practice.
You always throw it backwards while the me scream. Man, they don't make games like you. There's soul in that game. Oh.
I do it intentionally too, I swear. It's never on accident.
Always make sure you've got the wrist strap.
Don't want that Wiimote just going straight through the TV.
Yeah, it was like, 2007, 2008, that Christmas when the Wii launched, and the amount of YouTube videos, and I think there were Vines as well, because back in the Vine days of literally just people just pelting Wii remotes at the speed of sound into their TVs. Far out. Very funny.
It's very always funny. For Wii bowling too. Like, all of them are always playing Wii bowling and without the wrist strap on.
No, it's because the wrist strap was weak, remember? And they had to issue those new ones. Oh, what a time. Would you consider the Wii a retro console?
Yes.
I am now an old man.
So the PS3 and 360. I think we've said before, I think we've agreed before that they count as retro, and the Wii came out at the same time.
Yeah, the 360 and PS3 I can believe, but I don't know, there's something fresh about the Wii. Maybe because Nintendo skipped a generation and went straight from the Wii to the Switch. And it doesn't feel as retro.
Yeah, there was that weird middle period where they were just like, the 3DS is all we're supporting.
Oh yeah, the 3DS. It was only handheld era. That was it. And anyway, onto the Halloween party. What you dressing up as?
I don't know yet. I'm leaning towards Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, rats, I thought I was going to get you on Frankenstein.
Maybe a werewolf.
The doctor. That's a generic one. You're not going to bring out your power level and go full gamer on you?
No, wait, hold on. Let me cook. Maybe Xemnas. All I have to do is wear a black hoodie.
You go as a clown and just wear your normal clothes.
I don't like this segment anymore.
Okay. But yeah, as for myself, I've got really nothing going on. Did something happen? I checked out that big games night big games night down at Federation Square last week, and I paid $16 for a Cult of the Lamb shaped fairy floss.
Oh, you actually bought that? I thought that was just something you found online when you posted that.
No.
Holy shit, I'm actually going to have to go back and get those pictures and put them in the podcast.
This is why I brought it up, big fella. Yeah, but $16. The thing was bigger than my head. Like it was huge. But then, like you remember, fairy floss is like 90% air. And by the time I finished eating it, I was a very sticky mess.
Yeah, and the other 10% is just pure unadulterated sugar.
Yeah, so I had like a massive sugar rush, and then like on the way home it crashed, and I'm like, okay, sleepy time.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Both the energy from being at a fair and all that sugar.
It's absolutely jonesing.
But yeah, how was that? You know, besides the Cult of the Lamb Fairy Floss, what was going on there?
There was like a bunch of different things. Like, because I went with the girlfriend, and she's not exactly a gamer by any sense of the word. She was going just because like I was going, and I forced her at gunpoint. But she was like running like 40 minutes late from work, so I sort of just hanging around. It was pretty cool. They had like a bunch of booths sort of set up where you can play different games like Cult of the Lamb or Stray Gods. Is it Stray Gods? Yeah, Stray Gods. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Like there was a whole bunch of ones from like party games to like from Fall Guys to like your hardcore Smash or Mario Kart. There was a cosplay competition outside, but it was absolutely pissing down rain, so we only stayed there for a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty cool, but it was hosted by Montaigne and someone like Montaigne's like a famous singer, or a famous Australian singer from what I'm told. I don't really listen to her music. And someone from the ABC. And you could sort of tell that like they were getting into it, but they just did not know anybody. But the cosplay was like pretty sick. Like there was a guy that dressed up as Chainsaw Man. Someone that dressed up as the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb. It was really good. It was just a shame that the weather was absolute fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
And we just went inside and... No, you go.
I'm assuming all of that was happening because last weekend was also PAX Australia.
Yeah.
So whenever that happens, Melbourne's just all for one whole week. It's gamer city.
One way it's like the big games night was on Thursday, and then PAX was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like it really wasn't like a whole week. It's 4 days, but whatever.
Okay, because last time I went there, I saw a few things they had scheduled for Wednesdays and Tuesdays as well. But I think those might be more like inside industry sort of events.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things like I probably could have looked for it, but this one's just sort of targeted advertising found me. And it was really good that it was free as well. Like the overpriced fairy floss aside, it was good. Like you just go in, walk around, and play a bunch of games. They had like this auditorium thing, and they were having a Smash tournament, so I watched that. It was good. I rated it. It's probably one of those things that if you've got like a whole group of friends, or if like everyone's a gamer at school, like I can sort of tell like a girlfriend was like, yeah, this is fun. And I'm like, babe, thanks for coming. But yeah, no, it was cool. But yeah, that's... So hang on, topic change for a moment. Do we do Steamcharts now, or do we do it after Around the Lounge? I don't know.
We do it whenever you feel like it. You are the host. You get that call.
You know what? Hang on, let him build. Let's do it now. Lock me in, Saif.
Yep. So I have the Steamcharts right here. So as you know, as the resident Xbox fan of the podcast, Forza just came out. Forza Motorsport.
Yes, I'm aware.
It also has a Steam release.
Don't know why they did that.
The only Steam releases we've had for Forza are Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 5, and Forza Horizon 4. So we don't have any Steam numbers for the last Forza Motorsport. So this is kind of like maybe they appeal to different crowds, but I want you to guess what order these rank in from best to... actually, let's go from lowest to highest. Which one do you think is lowest? Then the second, then the highest.
I'd say... For what I've been reading online, Forza Motorsport, the one that just came out, is like not very good in terms of quality and polish. So I reckon that's last.
Mm-hmm.
Like as in... And then it's Forza Horizon 4 and then Forza Horizon 5.
Yep, that's not a challenge at all. You got all of those pinpoint accurate. Now let's go for the numbers. How many? How's the all-time peak for each game?
I don't know. Forza Motorsport, I'd say 50,000. Horizon 4, 80,000. Horizon 5, 200,000.
Oh, you overestimated all of those.
Rats.
So Motorsport is at 4,348.
Oh, grim. It did just come out.
It did just come out. It did just come out. I think the number will go up over the weekend. Forza Horizon 4 came out. Its all-time peak is 40,228, and Forza Horizon 5 is at 80,745.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, no, I completely fucked the last number up. Maybe it's because it is on Game Pass. They all launched day one on Game Pass, and that's like the big draw. Interesting that they did a Steam launch for Forza Motorsport.
Well, they've been doing Steam launches for all the Xbox games anyway.
Have they? Like, did Redfall launch on Steam?
Yep.
Did Starfield?
Yep.
Ah. Yeah, because you did the Steamcharts for Starfield. Ah.
Yeah, and we've been doing Steamcharts for Redfall as well to kick it while it was down.
It's a great game. Potentially, some might say game of the year after the last update, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in the news section.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how much Forza Motorsport's Steam numbers would pick up over the weekend, because no matter what, you had to buy this game on Steam. You can't get it through Game Pass on Steam. So, interesting. I'll be kind of interested to see how this goes over the next couple of days.
It's probably one of those games that, like, the hardcore rev heads, they bought it day one. Yeah,
they would have bought it during the 4-day early access.
God, I hate that fucking practice in the industry. God. Just release a demo like a week or two in advance, like normal human beings. I'm not sure if you put this in the docket, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Have you seen like the size of and in terms of hard drive space solid state hard drive space, really solid state drive space that the RoboCop demo takes up?
Yeah, it's like 160 gigabytes, I think it was.
Fucking hell, and it's like before you can play the demo, you've got to download like a 30 gig update. Like, is it?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's just the full game with a lock on it. So once you buy the game, it just unlocks the full game.
How hard is it to get past that lock?
I don't know, actually. Does anyone even care enough to try and get past it?
No, not. Oh, I think it's probably more of because the lock's there, I'm breaking into it rather than I want the juicy RoboCop game on the inside.
Yeah,
that's strange. They thought it was a good idea to release a RoboCop game in this day and age. Like, is there like a movie remaster thing that I'm not aware of? Like, that movie came out like 40 years ago.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, RoboCop's been showing up in a few things recently because he was also a DLC character in the last Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, yeah, he was too. Okay, so what year do you think the first RoboCop came out in? I just quickly Googled this. This is my Steam chart.
Oh, I want to say 86?
Oh, close. It was 87.
Oh, damn, off by a year.
Fuck, that's a really good guess, though. But 35 years that movie came out, and it's not even the first video game they made about it either. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seems like the last film for RoboCop was in 2014 as well.
Yeah, they had a reboot. Googled it now, and fuck, it looks very futuristic. It looks very Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Crime as a new enemy. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, around the lounge, as our good friend Patrick introduces it. Video games, movies, pop culture. What you been up to?
Yeah, no video games this week. So over the last 2-3 weeks, my AC's been broken, which means I've been in too uncomfortable of a position to continue the Soul Hacker streams. So I've just focused on movies mostly, and the one I've decided I'm going to kick this week is Black Adam, because holy shit, was that an awful movie. I have words and need to vent about that one. How about you, Stephen? What have you been up to recently?
I'm continuing my quest to become a Pokemon master, and I went to a VGC, or video game competition. Oh, sorry, video game championships. That's what it stands for. About 45 minutes away from my house. Like, it realistically should have been 30 minutes, but traffic is but not that traffic is a nightmare. I'm just not paying $5 in tolls.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck toll roads.
Yeah. But yeah, so I competed. That was a day and a half, some might say. I went for like 6 hours, and there's only like 32 of us. But it was pretty interesting. I learned a lot, but I will get into that on my section. Black Adam, talk to me. Let's start with you.
All right, so everyone knows that Black Adam has been in development hell for a long time. The Rock really, really wanted this movie to come out. Like, he's been super jazzed to play Black Adam this entire time. I don't know why. I think he might just think he's a really cool character. So in saying that, they got Black Adam completely wrong in this movie. You'd think for someone that was like super excited for this role, he'd try to make it like accurate to the character, but they just fucked up at every level. So I'm not super big into DC comics and characters, but I believe that Black Adam is just like an anti-hero. He's not really a villain, but he's from a different time, so his ways of dealing with crime and villains is too old-fashioned and too violent for modern heroes. And that's like what causes a lot of clashes.
Yeah, like cutting your hands off thieves type of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, like he just full on. I think he's just full on okay with murdering people, and that's the end of the line. Like, you stole bread to the guillotine with you, sort of style of execution. But yeah,
so I saw this movie for 6 months, maybe 8 months ago, like quite a while ago. I get the feeling that you hated it. I thought it was like a perfect 5 movie. Like I think I was playing the Switch. I think I was like grinding Pokemon actually back in those days.
I think you grinding would have helped you numb yourself to what's actually going on in the movie.
Yeah, I get the feeling because I was doing something else, it wasn't a complete waste of time. I just needed something on the background. But I think maybe because I don't know the DC lore, that I could appreciate what Black Adam was trying. I get that there's like, when Black Adam first comes in and he's like, nah, fuck you. He's sort of almost like as if he's the bad guy, but then he sort of flips around, but then he completely has a change of heart, and I hated that.
Yeah. That's the part that like is completely like destroys the lore and character in that, like they treat him like a tragic hero, like so they,
yeah.
I'll just go open spoilers. They go into this whole thing where it seems like this kid became Black Adam and then had like a violent urge, and then it turns out no, actually the son passed the powers over to his father to help protect him, and the moment that happened, the father's son was murdered, which made him go onto a rampage to go and kill a king and destroy the entire city that he was around, and then got entombed for his crimes. So they try to make him like a tragic figure.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh, this kid rose up against injustice. It's like, no, it's his dad out for vengeance. Not even vengeance, just like revenge. Yeah. That's right. I forgot it was that. And yeah, like the movie gaslights you. Like it doesn't feel like I was expecting this kid to be Black Adam. It's literally like it frames this kid to be Black Adam, and it's like the kid grows up and gets the powers, and then the man gives the powers to his dad. It literally gaslights you.
Yeah,
the entire movie.
It's like it's supposed to be like the third act twist that you're not meant to see coming, and it's like the way twists work is if they foreshadow it, and they don't really.
And it's just the way they deliver it as well. I found it was like, I thought it was a cool twist. It was just a shit delivery.
Yeah, that
like
too.
They could have done like some things, but like the way, like maybe it's just because they focus on the kid for like 80% of the flashbacks, and it's like, oh, it actually wasn't the kid. Oh, it's all misdirection and magic. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, and like they frame the entire story as like, oh yeah, so the kid was deemed unworthy, and that's why he was imprisoned afterwards, because he was trusted with the gift of the gods, and then he used that to go on a bloodlust rampage, like righteous justice, and the wizards didn't approve of that. And then it turns out actually no, it's a twist. The story we've been telling is a lie completely. That also brings in like the part, so that goes into like the whole part of they bring in Amanda Waller and the Justice Society, and it's like, oh, all this heinous shit has been going on in this country. I forget what it is. It's like Kurdistan or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, it's set in like is it like a Middle Eastern
Karnak? Karnak.
Yeah, it's set in a fictional Middle Eastern country.
Yeah, it's like fictional Egypt. Sort of.
It definitely tries to make it out to be like an Egypt, but it gives off like the city density of like a.
I think some cities. Yeah, I think some cities in Egypt have that sort of density.
Oh, okay,
like in the more populated areas of Egypt nowadays.
I need to go to Egypt. See the pyramids. Very cool. Anyway.
But yeah, that brings in the whole like Justice Society, and like Karnak has been under the rule of like a mercenary group for years, and they just decided they were going to let it fly until Black Adam shows up and like, actually now we need to go to Karnak and liberate it. And it's really stupid in how they like the heroes are portrayed in this movie. And it brings me to my biggest issue in that like everything in this movie about the heroes versus Black Adam could have been avoided if A, they just talked properly, and B, if they just didn't make Hawkman so like he's just so intent on putting Black Adam into the ground. Like it's kind of like A goes into B sort of thing. Like they just need to talk properly, but they won't talk properly because they're just both violent and in a massive dick measuring contest to fight it out. And then in the corner, there's Dr. Fate's just being coy about like, oh, someone's going to die in the future. I know the future, but I'm not going to say anything to anyone because it's fate. So whatever, but also we can change our fates.
I did like Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate.
I get the feeling he is good.
I get the feeling it wasn't his acting that was the problem. It was the writing. Like he was very good playing the stoic. Oh, I know what's going to happen, but it's going to happen anyway. So let's all just keep going, type of thing. And he does it does seem like maybe I'm misremembering the movie, but it does sort of seem like he tries to not go against fate, but he's like, all right, well, this is going to, like, he knows the end result. It's like he just doesn't know the journey. So I was like, whatever, I'll just do a couple of things, see what I can do.
Yeah, essentially that. It seems like it's just a problem of he knows a lot and he's being coy about it. And yeah, it's not a problem with him and his acting. It's more a problem with the script and the writing. And that's essentially where I'm coming from. Like, a lot of the problems with this movie is just in the script, in how they write characters and how they're portrayed. And it's just everyone that was in the movie got dealt a really bad hand. And all of those things just come together to make like what was really unenjoyable movie to watch. Like everyone's just a massive dickhead to each other. Even like the Kandaki civilian characters, I think they're all like total idiots in this movie.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
they're all like fully in support of Black Adam because they play it up like, oh, we've got our own hero, like our own country mascot sort of thing.
Their own Superman type of thing, but he goes in there and he's like killing anybody that's being like a bad guy type of thing.
And there's like no like moral ground for them to stand on. They're just like completely okay with him going around murdering everyone, and they see it as like justice and like true justice. They don't question him about it or anything, even when the Justice Society shows up and they're like, no, we don't kill our enemies. We need them for questioning and such. And it still flies in the face of everything that goes on. And like this happens in a lot of superhero movies, but the main villain gets what he wants because all of the heroes were dickheads and just played into his hand. And and then on that as well, like the main villain is just kind of nothing. He just shows up for a big fight at the end for all the superheroes to team up and for Black Adam to get his big win, and then he doesn't matter.
Yeah, it Yeah, it's pretty weird. Not a fan.
And yeah, honestly, that's all I really have to say about it. Like, it's really bad. It's not badly acted. It's just that they're given bad stuff to work with. So it's bad writing and bad characterizations. A lot of the CG shots, like the rock face on as he's speeding up, the one that everyone knows is just like a front on of him flying through the air. That shot's really bad, and there's a few ugly shots like that throughout the movie. The action is pretty bad as well. It just wasn't an enjoyable movie, but I do have this to say about it. This far removed from the movie, that post-credit scene is hilarious. The one where
the one with Shazam?
No, it's the one where they set up Henry Cavill's Superman is going to fight Black Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Which is even it's funny you say that, because yeah, Black Adam's rival is supposed to be Shazam, but The Rock is like, nah, I'm too big for that. It has to be Superman. I have to fight Superman. So this far removed from the movie and its critical failure. All the news about it and the DC cinematic universe dying. It's just really funny seeing that cliffhanger happen, and it's just going to lead nowhere.
I don't know. And it was also, I think, because when I watched it, it was a bit more fresh. How I think it was like just after Henry Cavill got kicked out for being Geralt.
Geralt for the Witcher.
So it was Geralt even. Think I'd lost that, did you? But it was kind of a bit like, that's heavily outdated, and it probably definitely was a bit of The Rock, because he's like, no doubt about it, he is a fucking big actor.
He is. He's a big deal.
He's definitely, and I think they wanted to make like Henry Cavill is like a really good Superman, and he's a really good actor in general, and he's universally liked.
It's just he was in the same position.
Good actor.
He was in the same position of he's a really good Superman. He was just given horrible scripts to work with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Andrew Garfield as well as Spider-Man, like in No Way Home, like he got to show off that, oh no, he's an enjoyable Spider-Man. It's just that the Amazing Spider-Man movies suck.
I don't mind the first one. I think because the first one has, which is the one where the chick dies? Is that the second one?
That's the second one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think I came around on that movie because of the ending. It's a bit more darker than usual. But yeah, no, you're right. Andrew Garfield got he got shafted. Those are the worst Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I kind of wish all those rumors about him getting a third movie because of what happened in No Way Home happened, but at the same time, I'm like, let's just leave it.
It seemed like it was on track to happen, and then something happened, and now he's just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be acting for a little while. I'm going to take a break from Hollywood. Yeah,
right on. Oh, bless me. But yeah, all right, score out of 10. Let's not drag this out.
Yeah, like a 3. And parts of it was actively making me angry.
So are you a big DC head?
No, I'm not. And that's what frustrates me the most. I'm not a big DC head, so like these movies are supposed to get people that aren't DC heads like into the universe a little bit. But just hearing everyone talking like the way the script was, I was just actively angry on like how all these characters are just so adamant on fighting each other for the stupidest reasons and not talking it out.
But
yeah, that's my takeaway on that movie. Bad movie.
Yeah.
Not even worth a curious check.
Yeah, maybe if you're doing something in the background like grinding in a video game or something, or maybe if you get like really stoned or something. I don't know. I don't really like recommending movies if you're really stoned. Go and talk to people.
Yeah, I watched Men in Black afterwards, and that was a huge improvement.
Which one? The first one?
First one, yeah. First one.
Now, that movie came out in like, what, the late 90s?
Yeah, that was like 97, 98?
Hang on, I'm Googling.
I think it's 97, and then Men in Black 2 was 2002.
Oh, all right, what about the third one then, smartass?
That's like 2009 or 2011.
Wrong, 2012. All right, two for three is not too bad. Oh, I did that reboot in 2019, remember?
Yeah, the one with Chris Hemsworth. Apparently
Yeah.
that was absolute shite.
Man, they just have Hollywood has no original ideas anymore.
No, it's all just recycled things that were popular from the 80s and 90s.
Well, yeah, you get because they're trying to get anyway. I don't want to get into Hollywood bullshit.
Yeah. So tell me about your Pokemon journey.
Gladly. So this was the first. Hang on. So to take it a step back, the Pokemon Video Game Championships, or the VGC, essentially what it is the idea is that everybody goes to different events, like different in-person events. Now they've restarted because COVID no longer exists anymore. Depending on who you ask. The in-person event exists, so you go to these in-person events and you compete, and then depending on how you place, you'll earn championship points. They've changed how many championship points you need for the Oceania region. So you need 300 championship points for the Oceania region to qualify for Worlds. And Worlds is like a big, I think it's a 3-day event technically.
But Stephen, Worlds was just 3 months ago.
Yes. So for some reason, they're running on financial years. So it's being held in July 2024. Well, the season runs from like July to July, essentially. But they really don't have in-person events until about August. So I've been watching because America is, I'm not going to say privileged. There's no way I'd use American and privilege in the same sentence. But they are a lot more opportunities to award championship points because they have a lot more regional events. And a regional event will, like, let's say you rank in the top, like, because they usually like hundreds of people go to that. And let's say the more people you go, the more people earn championship points. So I think 300 people, went to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh was the first one in America, I believe. And that was like a month ago. And I think it's the top 64 people win championship points, and they range from, I think, 10 from 64 to 32. And if you're above 32, it's like 20. If you're above 16, it's 30. If you're top 8, it's 50. And if you win, you get 100. So it's actually like, if you win a couple of these things, or even if you do well, you can sort of pick up a bunch of them. And then before you know it, like, you've sort of made it to Worlds, because to qualify for Worlds in America, from the America region, you have to get 400, which is, it does seem like it's a lot more, but the events they have award a lot more points, so it's not really
and there's a lot
comparable.
more chances to go out and get points.
Yeah, and what they've recently done is there was an Oceania international event that they've cancelled, and if you placed, I think it was in the top, or it all depends on the size and how many people go, but last year, I was talking to the people at the venue, and it's apparently like I say last year, but it was like 6 months ago, 6 or 9 months ago. There was about 400 people that competed, and I think it was like top 64 got like 50 points or something. Like, it was like a ridiculous amount. Like, if you place good in that, you're pretty much halfway there. Because last year it was 200 championship points, and the fact that they don't have that Oceania championship really is like, oh shit, like, you're going to have to go to a lot more of these littler events. So where I went on last Saturday, cannot remember the name of the suburb. Was it Werribee? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was like 45 minutes away. It was far away. There was 32 people that started off, and I was a bit panicking and running a bit late, as I normally am, because you have to submit your team sheet, but they don't let you submit your team sheet ahead of time. You have to like literally go there with your team sheet. Or I thought you had to have like a printed team sheet out, and I was like handwriting it in the car because I was running late at every red light, which is probably not very good, but I did it. But when I got there, it turns out there was a whole stack of things that you could have filled out. I'm like, oh shit, didn't need to do that. So I was rushing around to office works and all that type of stuff. But anyway, 32 people. And then it was pretty good. It was only 5 rounds, I think. Yeah, 5 rounds. Yeah. Or I say 5 rounds as in like you play 5 matches. All of them are best of 3. And it's open team sheet, so I can see what like the Pokemon move sets are for my like the opponent that I'm versing. And I'd like to say I honestly didn't think that I did too well. Like I ended up the day at 2 to 3, so 2 wins and 3 losses. The 2 wins I picked up, one of them was because I got incredibly lucky. So I was running like a sort of, I think it's called Balance is the name of the team, and it has like your old favorites like Fluttermane and Tornadus and Ogerpon, which is in the new meta, which is released.
I'm sorry, you're saying favorites and you mentioned Tornadus.
So the meta favorites. Not my favorites personally. I hate the Pokemon meta is usually there's 2 or 3 Pokemon that are like absolutely core. If you don't have these Pokemon, you're not getting anywhere. And then there's 20 or 30 ones that you build around that core. I did have like Sinistcha, like that new T Pokemon. And that sort of that in that match, the first match that I won, I got 2 crits in a row plus a burn with its signature move Machagacha, and it literally that was match deciding. But it was against a Dondozo player, so I don't fucking care. I hate Dondozo players so much. I don't care.
That's the big whale that eats sushi, right?
Exactly, yeah. And the players are like, okay, Dondozo's out. It's next to something else. Oh, shit, is he going to switch this turn? Are they not going to switch this turn? 9 times out of 10, they switch that turn. And it's like, cool, I knew this was happening. Bang, bang, bang. But I eventually got him. Like I beat him, and then there's the second player that I won. So I lost the first one, won the second one, won the third one. And the only reason I won the third one was because the person I was playing up against, he hadn't finished the DLC yet, so he didn't know what Ogerpon did. And he was kind of
so you took advantage of the knowledge lack, or the lack of knowledge.
But I didn't realize it until like halfway through the third match. He's like, oh, I don't know what this Pokemon does. And I'm like, it's the new meta, baby. Like, what are we doing here? But he was running a Tandemaus, but there was no Annihilate next to it. So usually what you do is you have Tandemaus and you use Beat Up on Annihilate, and it gets 4 hits on Annihilate, which means Annihilate's Rage Fist has like a... Because Rage Fist is Annihilate's signature attack. It's a ghost type, base power of 50, but it gets like pretty much doubles every time it gets hit, but with a cap of 4. So if you use Beat Up, it gets hit 4 times, which means it's hit the cap and it's taken like 20 damage, and the attack just like runs right. But he didn't have Annihilate. He was just running Tandemaus, which is that new mouse family Pokemon. And it was just like, so Population Bomb is that thing's signature ability, and it literally just hits you 10 times. And like oh man, it surprised me that like he was running it like an offensive variant instead of a defensive variant. So that was a bit, whoa. But no, I pulled off the win against him. And then, yeah, games 4 and 5 I lost. Game 4, I was just completely outplayed. Like, I think because like he did one correct, he guessed what I was going to do correct one time. And after that, I was second guessing every single one of my moves.
You got in your own head.
I just got in my own head. And it was just like, oh, I kept like doing these like 3 or 4 4-layer plans. And then he was just like doing the, not the dumb play, but it was like the obvious play. And I'm like, oh, he's obviously going to do this. So I'm going to plan that he's not going to do that because he thinks that's the obvious. I literally just like, if I just played my game, I literally would have had no problem with him, but he did beat me pretty fair and square. And then in game 5, like I sort of took advantage of him in game 1 just for something that, like I got like Tornadus, and instead of using Tailwind, I ended up using just Bleak Wind Storm, and I like lowered their speed so I could just go a bit faster. So that was my speed control. But then in games 2 and 3, he's just like, okay, I know what you're going to do. I'm just going to play my game, and then it doesn't matter what you do. And then that kind of just, he didn't take advantage of the weaknesses in my team. He just took advantage of the strength in his team. So there's definitely a bit of Pokemon. So I watch a lot of like YouTubers and what a lot of the regional events that happen. And Pokemon, especially at this competitive level, is a game of rules. You have to know what you do, and you have to know what your opponent does, and then you have to know how they all interact. And
I feel like there's a lot of competitive games in general. Like, you need to know the matchup. Like, even in fighting games, it's like, well, I know what my character does, and I need to know what my opponent's character does, and I need to know how my character interacts with the way their character works what my advantages are, what their advantages are, so on and so forth.
Yeah, but I feel it's a bit different with fighting games because there's always that. It is always like there's a semi-skill based type of, like if you can block it at the exact right moment or if you can counter at the exact right moment. But with the turn-based,
it's all in real time, and you need to know like what even when you're blocking something, you need to know when your character is safe against theirs, sort of thing. So
yeah, good point actually. Yeah, good point. Maybe because I'm not in the fighting game community, I assume it's a not a different thing, but yeah,
it's all just knowledge. You need knowledge on what your options are and what their options are, and even in turn-based stuff, it's also like I need to know what my options are. I need to know what their options are.
Yeah, but I guess with Pokemon, I think it's more of a
there's a luck element too.
There, the amount of times like I got like a lucky burn, like in that one game where I got like the 2 crits in a row plus a burn. I like after the game, I'm like, oh, like would you have enjoyed that more? Like if like the RNG didn't exist, and he's like, no, like sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Like it's a good balance to the game, and I think like that's just because like even though he got shafted by RNG, he was like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is, and it does create more of a dynamic element to it. Like Ogerpong's signature attack, Ivy Cudgel, it has I think it's an extra 50% or 30% chance to get a critical hit, which means the chance is likely, but if you're relying on that critical hit or the RNG to go in your favor, it's never going to go in your favor. Like there's always that thing like, oh, if a move isn't 100% accurate, it's 50% accurate. Which, yeah, I did have a couple of unlucky misses with like 90% accuracy moves, but that is what it is. And there is this RNG element that I think just makes it a bit more dynamic than like classic fighting games. And there is sort of like just overthinking because like of the turn-based situation. It just is, I don't know, just maybe it's just me trying to overthink things and trying to predict the prediction, and then turns out like I didn't need to predict. It's like, oh, they did the obvious thing like 9 times out of 10. So I think like going forward, and because like every time I check like because these are sanctioned by the Pokemon company essentially, like they post them all, and every time I check them, like where the next event is, like they've added like 3 or 4 more. So I was expecting one to be the week after next. But there is an event on this Sunday, so I guess I'm going to that one. I will be changing my team because I had a good chat with the guy who beat me the last round. And the guy that beat me ended up like coming 8th, which means he like made top 8. I'm like, rats, if I won, I might have been top 8. Which is just unlucky. It'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, so I'll change the team around. There's just still like a lot of things that like, it's just like getting the Pokemon is like quite hard, and then like resetting them, making sure they've got the right IVs, getting the EVs up. The more I get into the community, the more I'm getting a bit more in the camp of, you know what, like either make it easier to get like either just to get the EVs. Like sure, there are mints and there's like money grinding, or you can get them through the use of like bands and stuff, but it just takes time. Like building the team that I had took like 3 hours or 4 hours in total, like which isn't a lot of time, but at the same time, if you're like, that's 3 or 4 hours that I'm grinding, and that's 3 or 4 hours that I'm not practicing or playing with the team. So maybe I am a bit more in favor of genning or just making it more accessible.
Now the question is, do you want to get into a whole discussion about genning or not?
Look, I'll be honest. I was looking up how to do it yesterday morning, like just to be like, all right, like how hard is it? And like it's not hard. It's just you got to like essentially jailbreak your Switch, and apparently like and if you do jailbreak your Switch and you bring a jailbreaking Switch to an event, because at the top 8 level they do they do perform team checks. Like they'll look and be like, okay, are these like has your team, is it a legal team? Does it have all the right moves? Is it the same team that you put on the paper? Because you put like the stats as well on your team sheet that you hand into the judges essentially that run the show. And if it's not the same Pokemon that you submitted to the team sheet, it's like, well, you're lying. Like you either hacked your Pokemon or it's just false information, so they disqualify you automatically.
Yeah.
And if you do, and because what they do is they physically take your Switch and they look at it, and apparently, like, and this is also up to the judge as well. But apparently, like, the Pokemon Company is very strict on if you, like, let's say, like, press the home screen and you can see that the person is like has custom firmware, it's like automatic disqualification. And some judges check for that, some judges don't. And apparently, and this is another thing that I just think is the Pokemon Company being like overshadowing. Apparently, they'll send like official reps out to some of these events, and then they'll do the team checking and they'll do like the officiating to make sure that, oh, like we'll do random checks of switches and, oh, whoa, you've got custom firmware on this. You're out. See you later. Yeah, so it's one of those things like I'd like to take the risk, but
you need a second Switch to do it.
I need a second Switch, or I just, like, you can pay people to do it, and there's no fucking way I'm paying people to do it. Like, maybe when I get when the Switch comes out at the end of this year.
Oh no, that's not happening. Switch is coming next year.
Yeah, no, I'm coping. Give me a big huff. Like, maybe I'll hack the old Switch or something. I don't know. It feels like I just need a lot more time on my hands, or better access to things, and I just don't feel like I've got it. Like, especially the team I want to build for the comp on Sunday. Yeah, I'll just have to I'll reset Ogerpon and a couple of other things, but oh well, that's showbiz. And especially like getting like the 0 speed IVs, because I'm thinking of running a trick room team. Like, they're a bit hard to get. Sometimes
like
just
almost
RNG.
Impossibly hard.
Yeah, like it's soft resetting, like turning the game, because I'll be running it. I might be running an Ursaluna. I'm still tailoring the team, and if like the Ursaluna has like, I think if it's got like 10 IVs in speed, it outspeeds Iron Hands. But you don't want that in a trick room, because that means your Iron Hands is going first, and it's like, get fucked. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So my side of the argument is because like, if Jenning is against the rules, then sure, whatever, Jenning is against the rules. Don't take Genned Pokemon into an official tournament setting. Jenning to practice, yeah, whatever. Pokemon Showdown exists for that reason as well. Like, people just want to practice team, see what they can do with meta. I'm 100% completely okay with that. It's just that I get from the Pokemon Company side of things is that getting the Pokemon is the gameplay to them. Getting them and training them is the gameplay. Like, once you have them, yeah, it's all just battle practice and like knowledge practice.
Exactly, yeah.
And so, yeah, you do end up spending a shit ton of time just battling, and like that's where all your gameplay will be. But Pokemon is a monster catcher game still at its core, so they want you to catch a Pokemon and train it and go through all that steps. It's just for those specific things, like where it's like they still have room for improvement of making 0 IVs more attainable.
Yeah,
maybe
like
reducing the grind a little bit. Those steps they can do to completely make it better, like as generations go on, and I think they should.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and
I
then
I don't think it has to be a point of, oh, I want this Pokemon, I want to put in all these stats specifically, blah blah blah. But I think that there should be a way to like earn something that's like, okay, here's a complete 0 EV reset on a specific thing, or like they have the golden bottle caps that are like, oh, here's max out the EVs on everything. It's just
and they have done that. They have done that. Like with this generation, they've lowered like bottle caps can be used at level 50 instead of level 100, which is like cool. But then at the same time, it's easy to level because you've got like the XP candy now, and because I do a bunch of those Terra raids, I got a shit ton of them.
Yeah,
I just need a million Terra shards to change the Terra type. But
it just becomes a point of like, it becomes a big time sink, because you're at times you might want to have like maybe up to 10 Pokemon to have to switch out depending on the meta. And yeah, I understand that does become time consuming, but that kind of is the gameplay of Pokemon, and that's kind of what they want to push. It's just they've shortened it, which is nice. They can still do things to shorten it, which would make it even nicer, or make certain aspects of it easier, like that zero IV thing. Because, like you said, for zero IV, it's just keep resetting the egg and hope it hatches with the right one, and that's a little insane. Like, they shouldn't expect you to have to do that.
Yeah, like it's sometimes you get it in the first egg, sometimes you get it in the millionth egg. Like it's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously I've got an event coming up on Sunday. I'll do a couple of changes to the team. Like I'm playing Showdown a bunch. But yeah, I'll report in next week. And maybe all I have to do is get 300 points. And if I win the event on Sunday, I'll get 30. If I place top 8, I think I get 20. Depending on who comes. Like if I think if over 50 come, it changes, but I'm really expecting under 50 because the venue doesn't seem that big. But yeah, cool. That's all I've got to say about that. Maybe tune in next week and I might have a better story, or I might even have a worse story. Like I think with this one, so one of the guys sitting next to me, he just got like unlucky like 2 matches in a row, and he's like, you know what? I'm going home, and he just left. And this is like, it's a $10 to enter as well. So we're just like, all right, you fucked around like your $10 and you wasted all that time. So 32 people signed up, and then only 26 people finished. Or sorry, no, 28 people ended up finishing. Like 4 just dropped out for whatever reason.
They just had a bad first round of like, nah, out.
Yeah, because like if you essentially lose like 2 matches, like you're not going to get any championship points. Like you're not guaranteed. You just have to work a lot harder. So people are like, nah, fuck it, I'm going home. But then like if you stay, because I got 16th, I think. 16th or 18th. Like I played, actually no, I was 16th, I'm pretty sure. Because I placed high enough to get like a pack of cards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've got like a pack of cards. I have no interest on it. Like because the pack of cards, you come with 10 cards plus a thing for the TCG online. So I just like gave the TCG online thing away because it's essentially if you put in the code, you get a free pack on TCG online. So I gave it away and I was like, yeah, all the best. Hopefully you enjoy it. But yeah, hopefully I get more packets of cards next week. Well, this week actually. So I've got one coming up on this Sunday, and then next weekend I've got one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then looks like I got another one on a Wednesday.
You know what? I'm hoping for something nicer. I hope you get some points.
Oh, thanks, man. Much appreciated. I hope I get some points too. Oh, but yes, enough. I rate that event 10 out of 10 because the real Pokemon Championship was the friends we made along the way.
I mean, it does sound like you had some good talks there and like some good pointers from just being able to go anyway. Like you placed decently, like 16th out of in like middle of the pack on like the first one you've gone to. This is the first one you've gone to for this season, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I think because like I came like 35th out of 180 last time. I've given myself like a glorified sense of self. But whatever, that is what it is.
But even then, like you're still in like I still feel like you're in the upper 50% at the moment, and being able to talk to people and like get pointers will help out in your long run of making better teams and getting like just generally better at playing the game.
Yeah, 100%. Only one way to go from here, and it's up. All right then. I think it's time for us all to go for a little break, a little stretch of the legs, bit of stretching. And we will be right back after this word from our sponsor. Welcome back, everyone. We have returned from our regularly scheduled break. Hope we all did a bit of a stretch. Hopefully we did a bit of a bathroom break as well.
I got some popcorn.
You got popcorn? Man,
yeah.
I didn't know the news section was that good. What type of popcorn are we running? That weird fancy candy stuff?
No, just regular triple butter popcorn.
Triple butter?
Yeah, triple butter, because that's what my brother's like.
I'm not a big fan of popcorn. It gets stuck in your teeth and shit. I hate it. Not a fan. Okay, all right, here's a question. I was at a party, would have been like start of the year. And so I got into a discussion with some rando, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I just eat popcorn for the salt." And I'm like, "All right, chicken salt on popcorn, yeah or no?"
Chicken salts?
Yep. What's the difference? Like, there's normal salt. Like, I love chicken salt. Should I put that on popcorn?
I say nay, just because I assume the flavor profile would make it odd. It's like that cinnamon twisty thing. The twisty
that's a contrast though. That's like the sweet with the donut with like the savory of the twisty. Like, what's the difference between a salt and chicken salt? It's all MSG.
Yeah, but chicken salt does have a different flavor, and I think that would mess up the profile that goes with how popcorn feels to eat.
You got chicken salt in your house?
I do.
All right, off you go. You're doing homework.
No.
Oh, you're not doing it for Pod 10. Wow.
You should. You're the one that brought it up.
I don't have any popcorn in my house. I hate it.
Yeah, and I don't have any unbuttered popcorn to try it with.
Huh. Well, anyway, speaking of things to try, man, just segue after segue, and it's my first one.
That one felt a little forced.
No, it didn't. Everyone's favorite pill-popping video game from the million years ago, Pac-Man is getting a battle royale. Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs is coming out in early 2024.
I have a very important question, Stephen. Who asked? Like, for this specifically, who asked for this?
Tetris 99 did.
You know they did Pac-Man 99 as well?
Oh, but that's right, they did too. But that was only on Switch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So
yeah, this
looks like their way to
get.
I think Pac-Man 99 stopped now as well. So this
Yeah.
probably just them going, you know what? We can do that for real this time on other consoles and charge for it.
I don't. Yeah. I said when Pac-Man 99 came out, I don't know how it works. But apparently, it was really good. It worked really well. Not really sure how it'll work as a battle royale though. It's only 64 players, so it's easier.
They're showing restraint.
Yeah, like what? Only they've removed 1/3 of it. Should be easier. Maybe easier to win. Yeah,
I don't know. Chomp.
Yeah, it's got like a weird art style as well. Almost, it's like a 2D backdrop, but like 3D models in the 2D backdrop, which fucking looks ugly.
It's very neon focused as well.
Oh yeah, didn't even notice.
Like it's got that like not cyberpunk,
like 80s arcade.
Yeah,
it's like, too, yeah.
It's like what Hollywood depicts 80s arcade LEDs to look like.
But that's in the background. But then like the Pac-Man themselves, like you can customize your Pac-Man and give them like cool hair. I see one of them's got a JoJo hair, a pompadour. But yeah, I don't know. You picking this up?
If it's free, I'll give it a try. If it's paid, probably not.
It doesn't say. Surely they're not releasing as paid. Paid battle royales aren't like exist only because they're free.
Yeah, but Bomberman R is a paid game, and that turned into a battle royale sort of thing on its own as well. And the second one just came out as a paid game, I think. Actually, is Super Bomberman R paid? Let me check that. It is. R2 is $74 at the moment on Steam.
Oh, $74. I didn't realize it came out on Steam. I thought it was Switch only. I knew the first one was.
The first one was Switch only, and then it made its way to other consoles. Like on Xbox, they had a Master Chief Bomberman as an option, and on PlayStation, they had a Ratchet one.
Yeah, that's right. I remember saying that. I wasn't sure if that was the Switch only. Oh, that's funny as. Well, people obviously play it.
Yeah. Mixed reviews for the second one.
Yeah, the second one's always shit. They caught lightning in the first one. Not that I played it, but I don't know. Bomberman 64 is the only Bomberman for me. Speaking of blowing things up, though, I don't know. That was a segue and a half.
Boo.
Our favorite game from 2016, I believe this one it came out. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. For some reason,
refusing to die.
it's not only refusing to die, they're bringing out like a shit ton of new content. Like I didn't realize that they've released all the Tournament of Power characters, like to like Jiren, and they've even got like Goku Black in there and Zamasu. Like they've got fucking everybody in there.
Steven,
like,
I hate to break it to you, but they're current. They even have the superhero characters.
Yeah, I was just about to say that as part of what I was going to say. It's nuts. It's crazy, and they're releasing a next gen version, like a PlayStation 5 and Series S, in 2024, and they're doing a bunch of like free updates that are coming out October 12th, which is today.
Yeah, they've got a new festival. They're going to add Ultra Instinct. It says something about cross versus. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm assuming that's crossplay.
No, it's a new battle mode, whatever the fuck that means.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't surprise me if instead of using the typical 2-on-2, it's like a 4-on. What am I trying to say here? So instead of having 2 players fighting, it might be like 4 players fighting. It might be a weird free-for-all type of thing. Might be a battle royale mode, because that's fun.
Might be.
Yeah, I don't know. I do. When I played Xenoverse 2 like 5 years ago, I had a great time with it, but I don't honestly see how you could keep going with it. Like, unless it's one of those games like you play like once a year for like 3 weeks. But they do have a shit ton of DLC out for it. And I'll give credit where it's due. They're not doing a Xenoverse, or it doesn't look like they're doing a Xenoverse 3. Like, I'm a big fan of, instead of just making a new game, just supporting this one.
Yeah, they're doing Tenkaichi 4 instead.
Is that still Bandai Namco though? I thought that was someone else.
No, Dragon Ball Z is always Bandai Namco.
Oh,
like they own basically all of the Shonen games rights.
Another arena fighter. I'm not sure if it's here. Doesn't look like it is on our news docket. But they're bringing out like a Jujutsu Kaisen arena fighter, and it looks exactly like the My Hero Academia fighter, which looks like the Demon Slayer arena fighter, which is based on Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm arena fighters. They all the fucking same game.
Yeah, I just got an email about that because I forgot to take myself off the Bandai Namco emailing list.
Those aren't. I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I get the feeling that I enjoyed those games a lot more when I was a younger fella, like when I was 18, 19. Like they're fucking very repetitive.
They are
all character, yeah, and all because I jumped back into. I'll probably here you go back to Around the Lounge, but I jumped into Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 just as a palate cleanser for some reason. I wanted to play it. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's exactly the same as number 2, and I played number 2 last year. Like I'm just feeling a bit burnt out.
Yeah. I had a big break between Ninja Storm games, so I skipped 3 and came back in with 4. So it still felt okay as enough, but yeah, like arena fighters do get pretty repetitive after a little bit. And I don't think I've touched an anime arena fighter since Naruto Storm 4.
You're not missing out. Apparently, like the Demon Slayer one does a little bit of things differently, but like it's still the same.
Think it's still made by CyberConnect 2, but that one's published by Sega.
Oh, yes. So yeah, CyberConnect 2, that's who I was thinking.
The development team.
Yeah, rather than the publisher. Yeah, they're all published by Bandai Namco, but it's CyberConnect 2. Are they? So is it CyberConnect 2 that's doing Dragon Ball Ultimate Tenkaichi?
No, I think it's Spike Chunsoft is doing Tenkaichi 4.
Yeah. They used to do all the odd ones. All right, so maybe it's a bit different. Maybe it's 2 different teams. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, for all the, I want to say 4 Xenoverse 2 fans out there, but there's obviously a shit ton out there.
Yeah, like they're still planning to continue support throughout 2024.
Yeah.
And I wish Dragon Ball FighterZ got this level of support. All we've got is a rollback netcode update that we don't know when it's coming out.
It's not coming out.
It's coming out of my heart. It'll probably come out when the next gen port comes out, which we still don't know when that's happening either.
It's not coming out.
If Xenoverse gets it, then Dragon Ball FighterZ definitely deserves it.
Xenoverse 2 is a better game. But anyway, I do not want to talk about that anymore. No more Dragon Ball Breakers. But can I get a drum roll? I don't know. I'm drumming on my desk. I'm not sure if it's being picked up. But everybody's favorite game of the year just got even more game of the year-y. Redfall got an update. 60 frames per second. A couple of fixes here and there, and a couple of unique events, apparently, according to the bug notes. I'm not sure if anybody's going to play it, but it's good to see that Arcane is trying to turn this around. And
I think they have to because they have DLC people already bought, so they have to support the game for a little bit.
Well, they're supporting the game in just releasing DLC, and then they're supporting the game in doing these a lot more quality of life type of changes. And like they this is from PC Gamer, and they do say it seems to be there's combat improvements. Like you can do takedowns in stealth, which is wild that you couldn't do that at the start, considering this is made by Arcane, the people that did Dishonored, who mastered the stealth kill. And they've also done a bit more balancing, and they've populated the overworld a bit more with enemies, which is in desperate need.
We So to kick it while it's down, this update's come out. Current Steam player count is 19. 24-hour peak is 46.
It's higher than Babylon's Fall. Well, don't forget this is on it's a Game Pass game. Would you see a lot more if you were playing with friends? I don't know. I was listening to the Giant Bombcast, as I do, earlier this morning, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's good that they're fixing it up." And then the question was, "Are you going to go back to it?" And it was unanimous, no. It's even they would have to do a Cyberpunk 2023 switch around for me to actually jump back in it. Like, it wasn't fun when I played it, and it was literally like, how long did I put in that game? Like 16, 17 hours to finish the story. And I did a couple of extra things. And it was like after 5 of those hours, I'm like, I don't know why I had that mantra of finish everything you start, because I wish I did not. That's a lot of hours.
You really don't need to
away.
finish everything you start. Sometimes it's okay to put down a game after 5 hours of it being bad.
No, finish everything you start. But time is your most valuable resource. So I don't know. I'm a walking hypocrite. Is this tickling the itch for you to get to go into Redfall?
No.
But it's on Game Pass.
I do not have Game Pass.
Would you buy 3 years of it from Turkey for about 115 Australian dollars?
I would not.
Yeah. Cringe. But anyway. Another game that got a surprising update. Windjammers 2.
Hell yeah, it got crossplay. It already had rollback, so we don't need to worry about that one. But crossplay, that's important.
Talk to me what Windjammers is. I get the feeling that when it came out, everybody was talking about it, but I still have no fucking clue what it is.
So you know Pong?
I'm aware of it.
What if you made that way more frantic and highly competitive?
I'm looking at the screenshots. It looks like it's frisbee throwing.
It is,
like
but gameplay-wise, it's basically Pong.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it is frisbee tossing competitions, and it's basically just try to throw the frisbee into the opponent's net. Depending on where it is, you'll either get 3 points or 5 points, or just try to make it land on the ground and they can't catch it, and that's like 2 points, I think. It's very timing based and position based, so like when you hit the button to catch it, you'll do a faster return, and that builds up meter for you to do a super move. It's insanely in depth, but like simple to get into and a lot to get out of it. It's super fun.
Interesting.
It is also an FGC darling. Like, they do side tournaments at EVO and other fighting game events for Windjammers all the time.
Okay, so that's why then, yeah, because I don't know, maybe, did you get this? Did you play it?
I just bought it today because of this update.
Hey, nice, right on.
It's also 50% off on Steam at the moment.
Oh, that's pretty. How much you pay for it?
$15.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
You reckon you'll get into the community? You'll become a new this will be your Pokemon VGC?
Maybe. I don't think Windjammers pays all that well, but we'll see. Maybe I'll go to Vegas Evo next year just for the Windjammers side tournament.
Oh,
and along with that, I'll do a Beyblades one.
Oh, hang on, yeah, fucking mad. All right, we're going to remember Crush Gear? Oh,
yeah, man. I fucking loved Crush Gear.
I love Crush Gear. Oh man,
they don't make them like they used to.
They do not.
You ever tried to actually do that spinning throw with your Crush Gears?
Yeah, I did.
Doesn't work out well.
It didn't work out well for my friend's Crush Gear who I versed. Like it literally, like his shattered into like 1,000 pieces. Because like we both tried to do it, and he sort of let his go, and it went out sideways, where mine went straight into it. But man, holy shit! And we were like in year 3, so it would have been like 8, and I felt so guilty because like he was like, you can tell he was like picking up all these pieces, and he was like tearing up, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, man.
So you remember Scholastic books as well?
Oh yeah, I have vague recollection.
One of my stories of Scholastic things is that one of my brothers got a Beyblade off one, and he told me not to play with it. But in the moment he left the room, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to let this boy rip. It landed on the floor, sat there for like 3 seconds, and then bolted to the other side of the room and snapped in half, hitting the wall.
Did you find out?
Oh, I think you found out right away. I don't remember what happened after that. That's not the part of the memory that stuck with me. It's just the Beyblade sat there for like 3 seconds spinning and then decided on its own, nah, I'm going to go into this wall and break. After that,
I must go now. My planet needs me. Oh, yuckies. Well, that's all the segue I need. Speaking of King of Fighters, or should I say Queen of Fighters, King of Fighters 15 has a new DLC character, Hinako Shijo. Shijo. Butcher that pronunciation. Great work, Stephen. Do you care about KOF?
I do. Yeah, I haven't played much of King of Fighters.
On this set. Got him.
I haven't played much of King of Fighters, but it's a really fun game, and Hinako is one of those characters I've seen people play a little bit in King of Fighters 98, and I don't think she's appeared since then. But she's just a fun character in like concept alone, because she's a sumo character. Whenever you have a fighting game that has a sumo character, it's always a big fat dude, and now we've just got like this little petite blonde high school girl that just tosses people across the screen.
I don't know what to say.
It's just a fun inclusion. She's been gone for like 25 years. So her finally being back is pretty fun to have.
Okay. I have nothing to say. All the best, I hope. They give it out for free. That's all I can say.
Nah, that's not happening. They already did their free character for the year.
All characters should be free. There, I said it. But anyway, speaking of characters, nope, that's not a segue.
Man, you're having a lot of trouble with this today.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm not. Well, I'll practice. Like, how long is Pat?
It takes a natural talent.
I'll give you natural talent. Like, Pat's away for 3 or 4 weeks. Don't worry. Like, I'll master it. Maybe I should just stop trying so hard. Anyway, the next article, cloud streaming, not the Final Fantasy VII kind, but the PS5 kind, is launching for PlayStation Plus members very soon.
PlayStation Plus Premium members.
Oh, sorry, that's right. I forgot you guys have that like 40 fucking tiers.
Yeah. The PlayStation Plus, as I like to call it.
Oh, fucking shit. Is this...
no.
So, no bueno?
No bueno. I am not tempted to buy into premium for cloud streaming.
But you can get game trials of The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt. Mortal Kombat 11, you can stream... It doesn't seem like cloud streaming exists for all games. Am I reading this right?
I think it'll only be for certain games.
Jesus fucking Christ. Man, do I have a thing to
it says
about
hundreds.
Xbox Game Pass?
It says hundreds of PlayStation 5 titles, and
To
which is
support
not
streaming in the future.
Yeah, and
Literally
which is an odd thing to say because PlayStation 5 currently lacks games.
No, but it lacks. This guy.
I think they're just putting up like the big names of what to expect. So like with Spider-Man, Miles Morales,
Horizon Forbidden West, Ghost of Tsushima, Mortal Kombat 11, Saints Row 4, classic PlayStation 5 games. Not The Last of Us, but whatever.
I still think that didn't do all that well.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's interesting that like Xbox, I'm pretty sure every game on Game Pass can be streamed. And I do it every now and then. Like if I'm on the couch, I'll stream Slay the Spire on my phone, and it works pretty well. But then at the same time, I wouldn't trust it to do like an FPS or something. But that's probably just a me thing. There's probably no reason for.
Now, Stephen, what do you think the funniest thing of this article is?
I don't know. Fortnite.
There's like 20 countries listed that it's going to be supported for when it launches. Australia is not one of them.
What about New Zealand?
No, New Zealand isn't either. Malta is. This is the first time I've ever seen Malta listed as a country that's supported for something.
The Republic of Cyprus? Romania? Slovakia? Those are weird countries to pick off. It's
Sweden, Switzerland.
A lot of European countries, you probably find it's no.
I'm guessing it's just their internet infrastructure are what's going to be the best to support it right now.
You just do what Microsoft does and be like, nah, it's out there. If it doesn't work, it's your internet's problem. Fuck off. Maybe it's a licensing thing as well, but it's very strange that it doesn't. Yeah, Australia is not there. Very European, North American, and that's it. Focus. Yep. No, Japan's there as well. I'm going to say any Asian countries, but you get one.
Yeah,
Japan world tour.
Japan gets supported for streaming services as well, so because their internet is super good.
So hang on, so are you streaming onto the PlayStation 5 console, or can you do it on your phone? It doesn't seem like you can go into a browser and start streaming PlayStation games like you can for the Xbox, is it? It seems like it's PlayStation 5 only. What's the fucking point? Just download the game at that point.
Yeah, that's the point. They're trying to say you can play it without having to download it because game file sizes are that big now, I guess. It's like, maybe I don't have to install 160 gigabytes of RoboCop to play this. Maybe I can just stream it instead.
I
imagine for now it'll be streaming to PS5 and then they'll expand it out as time goes on, because they do support streaming on other things. They've had it on mobile phones and stuff before for like PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 streaming. So I'm guessing it's just going to be a slow rollout as long as like you're logged into your PlayStation Plus account on whatever device you're going to stream onto.
I don't know. It definitely does seem like we've got streaming at home. But at the same time, I'm someone that like makes sure that games are installed because I don't trust gaming in the cloud. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I hope we're all getting ready for shredding season because it seems like the PlayStation 5's gone on a diet. So for whatever reason, Sony's decided to do a slim model of the PlayStation 5.
I mean, we know the reason. They do it with every console.
But the change. So the headline here is that Sony's releasing a PS5 Slim. The caveat is that it's intending to replace all the big PS5s once all that stock is rolled out. So it's not a
They do this all the time as well.
Yeah, it's not a choice of like, I've got the big one and then I've got the smaller one that I might save money on, or vice versa. This is this is a smaller one. Give us your money.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the price, does it?
No, and that's the big thing about this, because whenever they do slims in the past, they've always lowered the price. This time around, they've gone around in a weird way to actually increase the price in certain ways. So getting it with the Blu-ray drive is just flat going to be the same price. The digital edition is getting a $50 increase, and they've also decided to make it modular in that you can buy a if you decide later you want to buy a Blu-ray drive to add on to it, then that's going to cost $80. So in the end, if you buy a digital one and then later you're like, oh, I actually want a disc drive, you're spending more money. You're spending more money by $30. And the PS5 at the moment comes with a stand that works both ways, in that you can lay down the PS5 flat or you can stand it up vertically. Now it's just like, oh, we've got this little nubby stand that goes across like as a bridge on the bottom of the PlayStation 5 to make it lay down flat. But if you want to stand it upright, that is a $30 stand.
It's fucking grim.
I fucking hate this. I hate this so much.
Yeah, it's
at this point in the console's life cycle, the price should be starting to go down.
I think I think they're probably.
I don't think the Switch ever had a price drop, did it?
Nintendo knows what they have. Like, what are you going to do? Not buy a Switch? Everyone's got a Switch. It's too late.
Yeah.
The 3 people out there that don't have a Switch, like, if you're waiting for a $50 drop, like, it's not dropping. Like, you'll get it on sale $50 cheaper. While I am excited, so when I first saw this, when was it, like 2 days ago or yesterday they announced this, I'm like, fuck yeah. The PS5 for Steven is real. And then I saw the price and I'm like, hey, this isn't $100 cheaper. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'll wait.
Yeah, and we've seen the leaked internals for Microsoft as well, like what their plans are, and they're going to have a refresh later that just stays at the same price as well.
I think they're probably finding it really hard. Number one, with inflation, and number two, what else can you do to like pump the graphics up to get that kind of price point? Like, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, these are top of the line machines. Like, you're not, like, unless there's a significant leap in technology, you're not going to get that much out of it. And
not without spending thousands.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you can jump to 8K. Nobody has an 8K TV.
That's going into a little bit of like the rumor mill. Apparently there's going to be a PlayStation 5 Pro that does come out that will support 8K. I think that's going to be insanely expensive. How much will that cost, though? Yeah, I think that's
like thousands.
So, yeah, the PS5 at the moment is like $500. I can't wait for them to drop that and go, yeah, it's $599 USD, falling back into the trap of the PS3, where everyone laughs at them for going that high.
And if it can play games at 8K, how big are the games going to be? Like, or is it just going to be some weird AI upscaling it to 8K? Because then that's not real 8K.
I think it'll mainly be supported for like 8K movies, which even then, not many people have 8K TVs. There's not many options for that.
And they cost like $14 million. So it's like, oh, cool. You pay like, let's say an 8K PS5 is 1,000 Australian, let's say.
Yeah.
Realistically, 1,500. But then like, okay, cool.
I think the PS5 at the moment is like 900, so it'll probably be like 1,100 if it came out.
Oh, fucking grim. It'd be like, yeah, and then getting an 8K TV, which is like $5,000. Like, making these numbers up, I don't know. It just seems like it's, yeah, they could release it and be like, oh, this does an 8K, and then not telling you that, oh, you need an 8K TV. Like, it's getting the consumers. But anyway, yeah, but on this slimmer model,
I decided to quickly look it up while you were rambling. The lowest 8K TV I can find is $3,300.
Jeez. Is it like a TCL or something?
It's a Samsung QLED.
Oh, yeah, QLED would be all right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All of the 8K TVs on JB Hi-Fi are Samsung brands.
Are they the only ones that do 8K TVs?
I'm guessing. I guess LG's just capped at 4K for their OLEDs at the moment.
Yeah, maybe get a projector at that point. Yeah, but if you were buying a PS5 right now and you didn't have one, Seth, would you be excited about this?
Not really, because I'd be excited if there was a price drop, but seeing it staying at the same price and like they're doing all these other things to price gouge it a little bit extra, I'd be trying to get a current PS5 right away so I don't get price gouged later.
But it's smaller. Be worried about like the heating inside it as well. It just catches fire, just melts the plastic.
So as you know, Stephen, I've had a PS5 for a few years now. I have the desk space for it. I'm okay with that. And if I didn't, I'd make the space.
Yeah. I'd probably have mine standing up.
I should actually show you a picture of my desk later. I have mine horizontal underneath a smaller desk on top of my desk.
Oh. That's very strange. Yeah. Anyway, can't wait to see it. I'm not really sure if this sways me. I'm excited to get a smaller PS5, but if I have to get a separate stand to make it stand up, yeah.
I should quickly get those purple faceplates before they stop doing those as well and start doing new faceplates for the new one.
Yeah, get on that. Waste all your money on that, you bastard.
I will. When maybe they'll go on sale before they get rid of them.
They'll be like get the factory second, or they might become collector's items.
Oh, hang on.
You've got the coin flip. It'll either become they've got too much and they're throwing them out the door, or they'll become collector's items and a single
they'll become
faceplate.
too much.
Yeah, no, a single faceplate will cost you 7 PS5. But anyway, I'm sick of talking about Sony. I want to talk about Microsoft now.
Okay.
I want to talk about everyone's favorite topic, taxes.
Oh boy, here we go.
So apparently the IRS, it's the Internal Revenue System in the States. Anyway, the tax man in the States says that Microsoft owes an additional $29 billion in back taxes, which is fucking crazy.
That's half the Activision Blizzard deal.
Yeah. But this isn't really gaming news. It's just funny Microsoft news. It says apparently it's between. You just wanted to shit on Microsoft, you bastard.
No, it's because we talk about Microsoft so much, and I thought it was funny to bring up.
Bastard. Apparently, it's just because of profits they made between 2004 and 2013.
It's funny because the IRS has been on record to go, yeah, no, we don't go after rich people because we don't have the money and manpower to go after them, so we just go after poor people. So
yeah, they do. Yeah.
So something's changed recently, and I'm guessing inflation is that bad that the IRS has to actually go now and go, you know what? Maybe companies should be paying tax.
$30 billion as well. I think there was actually a big restructure or remake of the IRS semi-recently because the head of the IRS pretty much said that is like, we can't fight all these legal fights. So I think there was some additional funding or something to do that. So yeah, $30 billion, like it's fucking a shit ton of money. Jesus. Well, 29 billion to be exact. 28.9 to be even more exact. But yeah, it's a shit ton of money. That's about 4 or 5 drones for the Middle East.
Jesus.
Yeah, all right, maybe edit that out. That was too. I thought that would be funnier.
No, live with your mistakes.
No. And speaking of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, our best friend Bobby Kotick did an interview recently. Well, not recently. It's actually a leaked interview because it's an internal town hall meeting with the Activision CEO, and he's just sort of talking internally. It was hosted by James Corden for whatever reason.
I don't know who that is, by the way.
He's like a comedian, isn't he? Hang on, let me do a quick Google. It's a great content. Yeah, James Corden. He's that guy that did the singing in your car videos for a bit. Yeah, he's like a comedian. I don't really like him. But yeah, so it seems
him. Yeah,
yeah. Everybody's
he's a late
James
night
Corden.
show. He's a late night show host.
Is he? I don't know. Yeah, carpool karaoke. He did that. He still does that. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, apparently it's just this internal town hall meeting got leaked. Bobby Kotick said some weird stuff.
Yeah, bullet point is like, the deal is going well. They want to, with Microsoft's backing, they want to, they'll have the resources to go more into cloud server tech, bringing back Guitar Hero. Well,
they should bring back Guitar Hero.
Hinting at bringing back Guitar Hero, I should say. Yeah, I'd be down for a Guitar Hero and Rock Band coming back. The problem is, not problem, but I think Activision could do that on their own. I don't think Microsoft backing has anything to do with whether that comes back or not.
Yeah, they might have to get more creative license. And
also revealed in this interview, which shouldn't shock anyone, is that, hey, Bobby Kotick is an AI bro. He's looking into the horizon of technology. AI and machine learning can be huge game changers.
Yeah, that's just where tech's going. I think he legally has to say that by his shareholders. I don't
know. He's a CEO. I think he just flat out believes it.
AI is doing some cool stuff. You played Redfall? They had a great AI.
That's a different sort of AI.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe we can get AI to replace CEOs.
Hold on. You're cooking.
Hang on. Let the AI generate the response.
But yeah, with that Guitar Hero thing, I think that's more like they could do it now, but if they got acquired by Microsoft, then it's Microsoft's paycheck that goes into the product failing rather than theirs.
Yeah, and Microsoft probably has a bit more lenient. I'm not sure if leniency is the right word, but like a better pull with getting like licensing agreements for like songs. Because wasn't that like the last Guitar Hero 6 or something that came out? Or was it Rock Band or one of those like had like a shit catalog of songs because they couldn't get the licensing?
Yeah, something like that. And maybe also like Guitar Heroes of the past had basically all the songs you'd ever want. So trying to make new playlists was getting harder.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do we bring the next one? Yeah, like the same thing that happened with like SingStar. How they had, and then like they had too many playlists. So it's like, all right, let's do SingStar Rock. Then it's only rock songs, and then SingStar Pop, and then it's only it's like pop songs. Man, they should bring SingStar back. But that's just karaoke, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, this is like a long article that's just like trying to repeat back what has been leaked from this, and it's essentially just Bobby Kotick talking up Activision, talking up AI, trying to talk up the Microsoft merger, saying it'll be like it's going well, nothing to worry about on that point, and with Microsoft's backing, they can put more into Call of Duty and more into their other catalog. Just a lot of up talking, trying to make people happy and invest in Activision.
It's a town hall meeting. You have to do that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't say anything about Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, I was gonna say like, oh yeah, you didn't say anything about like Blizzard or King. Like, how's Candy Crush going?
I think Candy Crush is just always doing good.
Man, all the mums of the world and rejoice.
It's just captured the entire mum audience.
How'd they do it? How did they do it?
Also, I don't have it on the docket, but I swear someone recently said something about Call of Duty coming to Game Pass, and it's like it's upset a lot of people because it's implied that Call of Duty won't be day one Game Pass. It'll be like late edition. They'll do the back catalog.
Yeah, no, it's like a I'm not sure if it's rumor or if it's confirmed, but it's like Blizzard Activision games will be coming to Game Pass like next year roughly, and includes things like Diablo 4 and I like Call of Duty, but they didn't really say exactly like dates or anything. It's just a little bit wishy-washy. Like I don't think it's anything. They had made no formal announcements. They're like, they're coming to Game Pass. Yeah.
But
and everyone's like, no, what do you mean? No.
Yeah, the reaction online has been super funny because it's like, sometimes I dip into the recent era of Microsoft to Activision merger discussion thread, which is an absolute landmine of like it's a minefield of just upsetting me to a degree of I should just stop reading, stop doom scrolling. But when that news hits, so many people on that website were like, what the fuck do you mean? They lied to us. It should be... Why are we supporting this merger when we wanted Call of Duty day one? They said Call of Duty would be on their day one.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, very, very stupid. But anyway, in other acquisition news, looks like the greatest company in the world wants to acquire the best game publishing company in the world. Looks like EA is being acquired by the Mouse, or at least being looked to be acquired. This is... are we really surprised about this?
Yes, actually, because Disney is pretty good about just licensing out their games, like, or having their own internal teams making games. They got rid of all their internal teams within the last 5 years, I think, because they started doing pretty terribly. But in like the 90s and 2000s, they had their own internal teams that were pretty good. Like LucasArts was really great.
Were they a Disney product though? Not at that time, surely.
Not at that time, but they did get absorbed by Disney, I think. I think they were still around when Disney bought out Star Wars, and they still put out some decent stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, and they've just been pretty good about like doing the licensing side of it, like giving Spider-Man to Sony to make this Spider-Man games. Just a general Kingdom Hearts whole association going on there. Square Enix and Guardians of the Galaxy as well. And yeah, with EA, they did like all the Star Wars games, like the Battlefronts and everything. And while the Battlefronts weren't received well, the Jedi games have been done pretty well, like Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. So yeah, it's weird to see that people at Disney are just like, actually, you know what? We need a bigger stake in games, and to do that, we need to acquire a large-scale publisher.
Yeah, it's...
And then at that point, it being EA, who isn't... Like, again, they did the Battlefront games, and those tanked Star Wars as a video game franchise for a while.
Battlefront 2 came around eventually.
Yeah, but it was a rough year.
Like a year. Yeah, it was like after a year of like bullshit microtransactions. Yeah, and it's... But then you hear about stories like, what was it? That Disney Dreamlight Valley, that seems to be like really popular around people that are into that. I'm not sure. Like, it definitely does seem like, just reading the article from gamesindustry.biz, it seems like EA's approached a bunch of other studios to be acquired, like NBC Universal, Amazon, and Apple, being some of the highlights. It'd be interesting to sort of see where this goes, who eventually acquires them. Like Apple acquiring EA would be huge.
That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah. Maybe Apple doesn't want to acquire it because they're still fighting Epic in their legal battles. But it's still... I don't know. I just never thought someone like a big publisher like EA would get acquired. Like I see them as like the juggernaut of publishers.
Yeah, but but don't forget, for the last year and a half, we've been talking about the Activision one.
Yeah, that's true. I always thought Activision was up there as well. Maybe because Activision's like three mini publishers. Well, not mini publishers, but three publishers in a coat to make one bigger one.
Yeah, but even then, Activision on its own is just Call of Duty alone is like a juggernaut in the game industry.
Yeah, and then Blizzard's got World of Warcraft and Overwatch, and King is doing, I don't know,
Candy Crush
project, but it's doing actually really well. No one actually thinks it's doing really well, but then you go over to its house and it's got like 20 Lamborghinis in the fridge.
Yeah, they're just humble about it. They don't go online and brag.
They go up to like a barbecue and they're just wearing like t-shirt and jeans, and then you go over to their house and it's a small country.
Yeah. Also,
hopefully this doesn't ruin Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, sorry, Dragon Age 4, or any of the Mass Effect games.
Yeah, and just a funny haha point at the people I made up on the internet again are the same people that are all on board with Microsoft buying Activision are all like, yeah, no, maybe acquisitions are bad. Maybe we shouldn't let Disney buy EA.
No, it's different. When a company I like acquires things, it's good. When a company I don't like acquires things, it's bad. How hard is it, Seth?
Oh, no,
There is no factual judgment.
I know that is the exact mindset of it.
Okay, so hang on. So what if there's like just one company that owns everything? What do you reckon?
Can I be that company?
But then it'd be like all the companies you like are one company, and then all the companies you don't like are another company.
Can I be in charge of the company I like? Actually, no. Put me in charge of the company I don't like, so I can tank this. So I can sell my stocks and then tank it.
Okay, if you want. Wow, I can't believe you're CEO of Sony now.
No, I'm the CEO of Unity. The role's open.
Well, hey, here we go. Well, the Unity CEO, Risatello, first name John, steps down immediately 3 days ago. So it looks like there's an opening for you, Seth.
Yeah, like I said, I am now the CEO of Unity, and I will be selling all of my stocks that they just gave me.
So to put it in perspective of what a massive loss he's being to the company, he is the chief executive officer, the chairman, and a member of the company's board of directors, as well as the president of the company. He is fucking everything. Holy shit!
Yeah, he held a lot of powerful seats.
And of course, he got a bonus on this way out as well, plus a bunch more stock.
Because of course he did. You reward failure.
Well, it's not even rewarding failure. He's just getting what he deserves. And I definitely think that someone with 4 positions
deserves the guillotine.
Yes, but before they get the guillotine, they deserve millions of dollars. They work like 100 times harder than me, definitely. They've probably got at least 3 or 4 meetings a day on.
But also all 4 of those seats were pivotal in his decision of going, maybe we should charge people 20 cents for installing a game.
Yeah, exactly. Like he makes the decisions, and it's like, it's hard making those decisions. It's hard being a decision maker, Seth. But
this needs to go to the chairman. Yeah, no, the chairman approves. Okay, now this needs to go to the CEO. Yeah, okay, that's me. The CEO approves.
Yeah. All right, now, hang on. Let's do a quick cross check with the president. Oh, hang on, it's me. It's just him spinning around 3 times wearing a different hat.
He just puts it on a table across the room from him, and then he goes and sits at that table.
He's got 3 different offices. He just walks over to the next one. But he's got like a Segway because he doesn't walk. I hate Theo so much. But yeah, have fun. See you later. I try not to wish ill on people, but all the best, big fella.
I hope we never see you again.
Yeah, he'll probably find another company to.
Yeah, he'll find another company to ruin.
But you might be in charge of X soon. Oh, but that's it. That's all the news that's fit to print. And just because I don't think we've talked enough, we've got an audience question. So thank you very much to the person that sent this in. I haven't seen this name before, so it must be a new one. And Forza writes in and says, what do you think of current DRM trends, and do you think they're here to stay? I think they're bad, but I think they're here to stay. And that's all I have to say about the topic, Seth.
Yeah, no, DRM is a plague on games at the moment, especially De Novo, because De Novo is intrusive and ruins performance of PC games harshly. Unfortunately, they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere, no matter how much we complain or try to break them.
Okay, so not a counterpoint per se, but a lot of the discourse that I've seen every time a game runs, it's like, oh, it's got de novo, it's going to be shit. Do you reckon that if de novo, like, it didn't interact or it didn't affect the game's like how playable it is, or it didn't hinder any frames or anything, do you think people would like accept it a bit more? Be like, oh yeah, it's just this thing in the background, who cares?
No, because people are also really against anti-cheats doing a similar thing, like just existing. It's Steam on its own is a layer of DRM. We don't need another layer of DRM on top of that.
It's not that hard to pull Steam, though, is it?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I don't think you can just pirate anything off of Steam. It's just DRM is Steam acts as like a barrier between you and buying a game, while you could just go and download a game. So it's not in like a game's code that it needs to be running through Steam, while de novo is in the game's code to be running.
Yeah, okay.
And checks for those things. At least that's how I think it's handled.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I'm not 100% like studied on how this works.
Yeah, I still think there would be a what's the word I'm looking for? There will be a people just wouldn't like it. Just people just get, or I feel that people just absolutely fucking hate it because de novo like interacts and like tanks the performance of games. It just feels like if we just sort of sat in the background like a little fly on your wall, the absolute hatred that people have for it wouldn't really exist. Like it'd just be like having an annoying spy cam.
No, because Valorant and newer Riot games all have like a layer of anti-cheat that goes on. And
isn't that the layer of like the anti-cheat that goes on your kernel? So like you have to actually like restart your computer when you install it. It's like you can properly install in the BIOS or something. How fucking crazy is that?
It's fucks.
That's different. Yeah.
But like once you get past that, it's not like it's not tanking your performance or anything. It just exists in your system and it's intrusive, and people complain about that as well. So yeah, it's just knowing it's there, and it's like there's a level of distrust between you and the publisher. It infuriates a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. It feels like the Valorant stuff, like that was a really big issue when it happened, and then it happened, and everyone's like, oh well.
It's people put their arms up about it, and it's just Riot is so big they do not have to care about that.
Yeah, it's like, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, hey, rounding back around a little bit, I cannot find local suppliers for the Galactic Purple covers on PS5.
Grim. Oh well, you'll have to find one then. I don't know what you're gonna do. But what do you mean, like local suppliers? You're just gonna get it internationally?
I can't find it at EB or JB. I think the only place I can buy it is maybe directly from Sony. I don't know if there's an option to buy it from the PlayStation website in Australia, though.
Cool. Rib. On that note, I'm done. What about you, Saif? Are you ready to get a fork in you? Done?
Yeah, I'm good for dinner.
Yeah. What's the dinner tonight, champ?
Steaks.
Ooh. Any sides?
Chips and veggies. Just a regular one.
What kind of chips? What kind of chips?
It's shoestring today.
Yeah, yuck. You want?
Yeah. I'm not big on it either, but it's all we have.
Well, a close second. It's no sweet potato fries, but it'll do.
It's no crinkle cut either.
I hate fucking crinkle cut. I don't know why. It just does not taste like fucking real. I don't know why. But anyway, this has been episode 94 of Fast Travel Lounge. I'm pretty sure the socials, I accidentally closed the tab, but It's Fast Travel Lounge everywhere except for on X where it's Fast Travel Lounge because it's missing one of the L's. The Blue Sky Addy is.
Would you like me to go through the socials since I have it up?
Nah, people know where to find us. It's just pretty much at Fast Travel Lounge. Worst comes to worst, you can Google us. Also, if you have some really big thoughts on anything gaming related or even pop culture related, please feel free to email us at fasttravellounge@gmail.com or Facebook Fast Travel Lounge. Or Twitter Fast Travel Lounge, but missing one of the L's. And Blue Sky is Fast Travel Lounge as well, I believe, Seth. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The full Fast Travel Lounge. They let us have both L's.
Because if you have two L's and you name the cancel each other out, then you don't have any L's.
You put them together to make a W.
Hang on. Let him Waluigi. But yes. I have been Stephen. Seth has been Seth. Patrick is in Japan at the moment, so hopefully we get a special correspondence episode from him next week, or at least a funny message. But without further ado, I bid you all good Stevening.
Happy birthday to good Stevening. I hope you die in a fire.